Hello everyone, it's Elizabeth and I'm here in my art loft, and I wanted to show you a few of the most beautiful butterfly prints that I've been making. If you've been watching my recent videos, you will have seen that I'm making a bunch of butterfly prints to be used in a journal, to make a journal out of after I have enough. I just went through a whole stack of them. It's about 4 inches tall, and picked out these because I think these are the exceptional ones, the ones I like the best. And the reason I like them the best, I'll tell you on each of them. This one, I like the color combination as well as the way that it looks so vague in certain places, and then so, well, maybe not totally crisp in others, but you can see that there's like this big blue butterfly that's in behind the orange. The orange, coppery orange colored ones are on the surface, and it kind of looks like maybe leaves, and where you would be looking through the leaves at the sky or at the butterflies as they're flying, and that's one reason that I like the looks of this. It has a lot of color in here. There are greens and blues and gold, and I think the gold and the blue have actually just combined to make the greens. You don't have actually green paint in there, but we do have the orange as a different color paint, and the dark blue. There's not, I don't think there's any turquoise in this one, although this evidently was done with a plate that had a lot on it before I actually made this print. So that's one of my favorites. This one is kind of a favorite because of the kind of dividing line. And this one, I remember that it was pulling up some of the paint as I was rolling on the last layer. But if you look at this one, you know, just surface, look at kind of the surface of it, you see the distinct little butterflies of this particular shape, and they're an all over pattern. But if you tilt it a little bit, or at least when I tilt it, and let me stand up and look and see if you're getting that in the camera view. But you can see, there we go, look up in the right hand top corner, you can see how below the surface there are all these other butterflies that are just in there kind of in a gold sheen. And when you look at the print itself, I mean, when you're looking there, you can get some of it from that. But that's why I think it's so pretty. It does have, again, a lot of the different colors, and they're mixed in very nicely. But you have a kind of a surface, and then an things under that you can see after you look beyond just the surface of it. I don't even mind these kind of pockmark stuff down here where the paint came when I lifted it. It has some of actually the white paper is showing through there, but that really doesn't even bother me because it just adds to it. It makes it look like, well, it looks like a painting that may need some repair or something. But you know, if I was taking a page out of this to put in a journal that I'm making, then I could get, you know, the page from the top part of it rather than using this part down here. Okay, this one I like, even though it only has 3 different colors, 4 different colors if you count the white. There's a white kind of gold under there, but the blue has done this separation stuff that it does, and it reminds me of those skeletal leaves that you can purchase at most hobby stores. And then of course you have the gold in there as well. But you have the turquoise and the dark blue and the black, or no, that's not black, that's the copper, kind of copper on top. Although it's probably just orange instead of actually copper. So you have like at least 4 different colors plus the white that kind of shows when you don't have it tilted so that you see the gold in those areas. But you can see all the detail, the crispiness of these little places where the paint was separating on the plate as I was rolling it out. This one had a lot of paint on the plate, and again, it's another one of those where you see the little butterflies, you know, on the surface. But if you look below, there's a whole set of blue butterflies, outlines of blue butterflies that are underneath the surface of the gold, the little white gold ones. And then, of course, the orangish earth color is kind of in the back. And I did probably have too much paint on there. You can see that right here. You can see it kind of smushes all together, but I still like it. Another orange and blue, and as if you've looked at other ones of my YouTube, on my YouTube channel, I did a whole journal of just orange and blue prints. And this one has the blue, the metallic blue is on the surface, and then below that you have the orange, and the orange ones being stamped into the dark blue surface, or the dark blue coming through the orange to make other butterflies underneath. And they're not necessarily whole butterflies like these are. I mean, this, you know, that's a whole butterfly stamp. But underneath you have ones that are partials because they've been stamped and then stamped on top of that and stamped on top of that. And these, I remember when this happened, the the orange paint was a little bit wet on top of the, on the plate itself. On the first layer was the orange, and it was a little bit wet, so when I went down into it, then sometimes I'd just get kind of the edges of the stamp and it wouldn't pick up the actual paint itself. So I re-stamped several of them to get the ones that are more solid, and left several of them kind of just with the outlines. So that's another reason I like that one. This one I like because it has one of my favorite carved stamps, and it's just got little tiny piece of it, and it's kind of like an old wallpaper or something where everything's peeled except that little bit of the wallpaper. And then your butterflies are not distinct. I mean, I may go back through and re-stamp those, and I can do that on top of this because the butterfly image here is pretty much radially symmetrical, so that this wing looks like this wing, because when you're stamping it on your plate, of course, you're getting the positive when you print it, and when you are stamping with a rubber stamp, then you're getting the negative. So I think it's this one right here. Let me grab that for you. Yeah, this one right here, that I think when I stamp, see, you've got the positive there, and if I go back and do it with, you know, do it again on top of that, then I think that it will come out close enough that it won't look like a double stamp. And of course this has gold background, so there's nothing wrong with that. And then the turquoise blue with the, it's rose gold, I believe, is what the vining stuff in there is. But even in the background, even in this part of it, if you look really closely, and I don't know if it'll show on the camera, but if you look really closely, you can see a blue kind of haze in the background there. This was done probably in the same session as that. I don't like that it shows the, you know, as the roller rolls, it kind of goes, you know, picks up the paint and puts it down at the same time, and you get these kind of striations as you're rolling the paint. I don't like that as much. I like more of a solid area, but I'll accept that because I like the way that the butterflies kind of fade in and out, and then you do see the vine stamp on there as well, and you can see them pretty well, I think. Let's see, can you see that? Yeah. Okay. This one I like because it's half there and half not there. I had put these blue circles on the plate to start with because I was upset because I was running out of that blue, so I just took my bottle and went and tapped it onto the plate. So I got circles wherever the bottle hit, and then some blue from that. And I rolled that out a little bit, but it didn't roll out enough. And then I used the white gold, champagne gold, whatever it was called. I forgot which one that one is. I think it's this one right here. Yeah, let's see. yeah, champagne gold. I used that and rolled it out, and then that rolled up some. Some of it came up, like in, well, in different areas, and then I put the green on, and it just, I just like the way that looks because I like the color combination. Of course, it's got lots of different colors, so it makes it more interesting than just a two-color print or something like that. Of course, two-color prints can be interesting too. I'm not saying that. Don't quote me on that. But you have a lot of different, depth and stuff looking in here because of the different paints and the way that the paints have come off the plate. And this one I simply love because I love the colors. I love the texture and the way that the butterflies have worked on there. This one had a print on the paper that had these blobs that were made with a piece of bubble wrap. And it was an interesting piece of paper because it had blue and gold and I think a green in with it. You can see the greenish stuff there. But it was just, that's all it was just a piece of paper with these blobs on it from the bubble wrap. So I rolled out on my plate the blue that's there. See the blue that's there? And then I picked up parts of it to allow the red to come through. The red was the next color that was put on the plate. And then I picked up the butterflies, and the butterflies didn't pick up everything. When I was picking them up, they didn't pick up necessarily all of the red and all of the blue, and that's why they look all different. Like, see in this area here, this one didn't pick up all of the red and blue there, but it did there. So you've got different looking butterflies. But then when I was trying to roll out the gold on top of that so that I could pick up the print, then it started peeling pieces of the paint off of the plate. And I finally was so frustrated, I'm like, well, I can't roll any more out. So I just simply picked it up on this print that already had the background stuff, as I said, the bubble wrap stuff. So that's why you get all this bubble wrap looking things peeking through all of this, and the gold butterflies on the top. And I think it turned out really neat. This one you can actually see the texture in there of the stamp. Let's see if you can see that. But it's got a lot of different colors in there. Okay, this is the same stamp I used, but this one only has 3 colors. This one worked right, and the way that it worked was I put the purple down first, and then I have this large rubber stamp that I stamped the whole set that has all the little squares on it, and then excuse me, I rolled the blue then next on that. And then I stamped with the big butterfly stamp to remove both of those colors partially. And as you can see, it was already drying a little bit, so it didn't remove, like, it didn't remove all of it, so you get this ghost look to your color that you have there. And the color, of course, that I picked it up with, I believe, was the it's one of the golds, but I believe it was the champagne gold on that because it's so light. But you can see, I mean, you can see like the detail in the wings of, crispy little lines as it picked up the paint that was on the plate on the edges of where the rubber stamp was carved. That's not one that I made. That is a purchased rubber stamp. This one I like because it has the purple. Well, I like it purple because it's purple. But it's all the same butterfly stamp on there, and it's this outline butterfly stamp. But then again, as I was rolling it up to get the gold on to pick up the print, then it simply kept peeling up the paint. So I finally had to just stop rolling it all that I could and just pick up what was there, and that's what I got. This one I stamped, well, I did it on the plate, but the butterflies were so light that I wanted them darker, so I actually stamped these later, and this is a kind of a transparent paint, the purple transparent paint. So when I stamped them onto the print after the print was already made, then they came out where you can actually see through them still and see some of the texture behind it. This one I love because in the year 2000 I went to China for 6 weeks. That's a long time. And this one had, this one reminds me of the colors of the, we went to a lot of the different temples, and they had a lot of painted statuary and backgrounds and different things like that. And it had this gorgeous turquoise blue with the juxtaposition with the red, and then gold to highlight everything. And I think that this really reminds me of those colors that I saw there, and how the paints weren't always perfect. They would be peeling off of the statuary and everything. And I like also how the blue butterflies kind of intermix with the ones that are gold in the background. But the colors really resonate with me on this one. The overall design is nice too, but I just love the colors. And this one's last but not least. And this one I like because, first of all, it's printed on black, but it has so many different colors, so much depth to it. And if you get it at certain angles, you don't even see the butterflies, but then at other angles you see them. I mean, they totally pop out. So it's a kind of a neat picture that you can look at, I think, more than just 1 second, because it's got so much going on and so many different colors in it. And these little turquoise blue things here almost look like they're floating above the surface because they have kind of a little tiny bit of a red outline to them. And that's just something that I probably could never repeat, but I really like the way this print looks. So that's a few of the prints that I'll be putting in a new butterfly journal. So stay tuned and see what I do with all of them. I'll be showing you along the way different parts of it, and if you like these things, you can subscribe, share, comment, thumbs up. Let me know. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Bye.